Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are going to be breaking down GBP JPY, GBP AUD and gold. So let's start with GBP JPY. So what can we see? We can see last week, let's just put this to the side. As I said, if you look at my previous videos, when we had a huge wick to the downside and a push down, we were looking for this bullish candle. And after I saw that huge wick, I saw this push down. I was like, we're going to have a similar price action to here, back to the upside, simply because this happened in the past, and also the weekly is clearly bullish. But then we saw this candle, this candle, this candle, and upside rejections of 182.500, 183, and it looked like we were going bearish on the 4-hour and daily. So I thought there's a potential higher probability of us pushing back down into these lows before we continue our upside momentum. That was from last week. The weeks before that, I was still bullish, but yep, that's fine. I didn't sell and I didn't buy, so I didn't even get in this at all last week. But if we look at the weekly time frame, we can clearly see prices telling us that we've closed above this, we've closed above this, we've closed above this candle. We are clearly bullish on the weekly time frame, so there's a higher probability of upside momentum. We can also see that we have some nice weekly wick level. If we just close these, we can see these highs. So this is definitely an area of interest, because when price closed above this area, we pulled back into around this area here, right here. If I bring back here, this red line, 183762, that's a key weekly area of interest. Tap, 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 tap. So I'm looking for a pullback either into that level, or on the daily, we can also see we're clearly bullish as well. We had this high, we broke this high, pulled back and retested this area. I'm looking for a similar type of pullback here and a price to put, either here or here. So we can also see a daily area of interest as well. If I remove this, here was the weekly red line, which I just showed you on the weekly time frame. The daily one's right here. And it's also a very strong level. Look at this. Rejection, drop, rejection, drop, rejection, pull, break above, pull back into this area. So if we can get a nice strong engulfing here on the 30-minute time frame, or we can get some sort of 4-hour rejection, we can start looking for some buys into 186, which is a strong, nice level of resistance and a key psychological level, and also a nice weekly level as well, which is the weekly struggle to break below, a break above 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and 4, if you want to count that last doji. So yeah, we can see the 4-hour potentially having a doji right now, so we can see it's potentially slowing down. It may have another doji. Usually after these dojis, it shows there's indecision and price likes to potentially rest, give us some sort of pullback, and then we can look for buys. Let's see what happens. Even on the 4-hour time frame, we can see this daily area of interest is very strong. We saw a rejection, a drop, a rejection, a drop, a rejection, a buy, a rejection, a push up, a rejection, a push up. So it's a strong level, right? So definitely we're going to take this area into account, and our weekly level into account, which is also very strong. If you look here, look, weekly area of interest, weekly area of interest. It's a nice level. It's also the previous 4-hour high, which was broken. I would say that's the previous 4-hour high, but this is also a mini high as well. Maybe on the 2-hour time frame, etc. So price does like to break the previous high, which it broke. So we can see price have a pullback here and pullback here, and we can look for buys simply because the 4 hours bullish, the daily is bullish, the weekly is bullish. So I don't really want to be selling. It doesn't make sense. GBP AUD is also another trade we can look at. We can see that price is clearly bearish, because we had a push. I look at the bodies for my highs, broke below this body, pull back, and now we can see what happens. The reason I use the bodies is because that's where price closed. That's where price stopped. It came here, but it didn't establish itself here. It established itself back up there. So when we broke below this body, it means we were able to establish ourselves below that area and close below that level. So that's our new lower low. Now, I'm looking for price to potentially come into 188715 or 186. The daily is also bearish, because if you pay attention, we had if we just go back here, any elbow is our lower high. There's no elbow. Why is this loading? As you can see right here is our next elbow. Lower high, broke of structure, we became bullish, retested that high, bullish, bullish, higher high, lower high, broke it, pull back, broke it, pull back. So we're looking for a push down. If you look in this bullish move on the daily time frame, move one, move two, move three. Move one, move two, we can look for a move three down into this area. So we can clearly see this daily area of 1.90835. So I'm either looking for price to pull back here and drop or pull back here and drop. Either one makes sense to me because they are both good levels. If you look on the 4-hour time frame, you can see this is a good level. It's a quite a strong level. So previous support, but this is even stronger level to me. But I don't know if we're going to pull back into that area. Potentially we may. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to wait for is we can see there's a 4-hour rejection. If you want to know what PA would be like here, you can get some clues. Look at here. We had this bullish candle, then we had this rejection and a drop. But pay attention to that rejection. It looks very similar to this rejection. It also looks very similar to this rejection. Yeah. So maybe we may just drop like this, drop like this, drop like this. So I'm going to pay attention to that, and that gives me a sign that we are rejecting below this area. If we zoom in, this bullish candle closed below this zone, telling us that some selling pressure came in and we couldn't establish ourselves above this zone. Then we closed below this area again. It wasn't the strongest close, but it was still a rejection, and it's still two body closures below this zone. Then even if you go on for me to sell now, for me to actually take sales, I need a break of this low. Even we had a break of structure on the 30-minute time frame. Look at this low, lower high, a higher high, sorry, higher low, higher high, higher. Look at this pullback. We had a nice little pullback. Then we broke this previous high. So this low right here needs to be higher low. This higher low needs to be broken for us to go bearish. And that's what happened. All I want is a break of this zone, a pullback, and I'm going to look for sales down into 189150, which is our daily 4-hour support, or our weekly support of 188715. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to wait for price to come up to this zone here and look for sales there if we can get some similar sort of rejections. Gold, I'm going to go through this very quickly. We can clearly see that we are bullish, right? You can see this is a nice weekly area of interest. Maybe it's like there's a lot of wicks going on, so we can take the mid-range, maybe around here, over 1975, which is a nice quarterly level. We can see multiple rejections in this line right here. And if I bring my zone I made, look at this rejection, rejection, push to the upside, 3 rejections, push to the downside, 3 weekly rejections, push to the downside, push back up, 2 weekly rejections, push up. So we can maybe see another 3 weekly rejections into this area before we do push into 2034.046. The daily is also very bullish. If you look at this clearly, you can see rejection, push up. Look at the FPA, it's so similar as well. Doji, push. Right, look at this. 1, 2, 3, push up. 1, 2, 3, push up. So yeah, I think we're gonna get maybe a pullback, and then we're gonna look for an upside move on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see. I'm actually in a current trade in this. Let me show you. I'm gonna trade. Yeah, I'm in this trade right here. I'm looking for price to go into this area. This area here, of 2016. If we can break that area, I will be targeting higher moves into 2034, our weekly level. I would look for trades above that zone, sorry. But yeah, I'm just waiting to see what happens. I've moved my stop loss to break even because I usually don't like holding my trades over the weekend. But since I did, I just moved my stop loss to break even. So it's a risk-free trade. So yeah, that's that. I hope everyone has a great trading week, and I hope you all stay calm, relaxed, and objective in your trading and stick to your trading plan and rules. Thank you, everyone. Peace.